I'm back. So, Trump is going to be running for a second term. Surprising absolutely nobody. He made a little speech at Mar-a-Lago, I think. I don't know. I don't care. I didn't watch it. To me, it's just a nothing burger. Just solely because everybody was expecting it anyway. Yet, it's really funny in a way because a lot of his candidates that he endorsed during the midterms didn't really pan out to the voter base. A lot of them ended up not winning, meaning his influence in the party is shrinking and has been for a long time. If you've been following this closely, that's pretty obvious. He's polling behind Ron DeSantis in like pretty much every poll. Fox News is even criticizing him. Everyone's pretty much done with him. However, his base, the MAGA diehard, they are still very much behind him, and he is still going to be a force to be reckoned with. Now, do I think he can win the nomination? Yes, I think he absolutely can. But it's only going to be through the fault of the Republican Party for not stopping him, for not showing that they don't need him when they actually kind of do, because a lot of their rhetoric the last, however long Trump has been here, has been based on him. It's a whole bunch of Republicans trying to out-Trump Trump. So a lot of the rhetoric comes from him. A lot of their positions, or lack thereof, are all influenced from him, so they can garner favor from his loyal fan base. And it also really says a lot that he's announcing now, like as soon as possible, because he has multiple lawsuits against him. He has a subpoena against him. He skipped his deposition on I think it was Monday, the 14th. So yeah, he has a lot to lose. He's basically desperate at this point, because he is really kind of screwed when it comes to these court cases that he has been putting off or dismissing for however long now. So it's going to be a whole lot harder to convict him when he's actively running a political campaign for president. Because honestly, like he should be in jail. And this isn't just like liberal speak. He should not be in public, period, right now, like at all. He should be on house arrest, given the severity of these like crimes and these court cases that are against him right now. He should be charged. I believe he's even supposed to testify in one of these court cases. But aside from all that, when it comes down to Trump versus DeSantis, I do think that DeSantis, based on the polling numbers, can beat him in a primary. But the thing is, DeSantis is about as interesting of a speaker as a decomposing cat. So Trump would probably mop the floor with him if it came to like any debates. And Trump is not going to let things slide. He's not going to use kid gloves when it comes to DeSantis. This is Trump we're talking about here. Now, the thing is, if Trump did win the nomination, I think America will come out in droves again to make sure that he doesn't win, because he's a loser. Carrie Lake lost, and everybody was riding on her because she's Trump in heels and whatnot. And yeah, it's just embarrassment after embarrassment. The midterms really showed that Republicans really have nothing. Like, if you're a conservative and you're watching this, define woke. What does that mean? The whole modus operandi for the GOP, for the Republican Party, besides fascism, is, wow, the Democrats are crazy and cherry pick this and that and this, that culture war nonsense, wokeism. Oh no, the trans kids, the world is ending. Vote for us. That's not a winning message. And the fact that Trump's Supreme Court picks played a major hand in overturning Roe versus Wade, that contributed probably the most to the Republican failures in the midterms, because people came out in droves to vote for the Democrats. Not only that, but because of Trump and his election denialism and the hostility towards democracy as a whole, and the whining and crying and tantrum throwing of all these conservatives and fascists about losing elections, it is sowing disdain and discontent among the Republican voter base for the very concept of democracy. And like it sucks to say, but like ensuring that the Republicans don't maintain power is really like the only path forward. So I hate to say it, but vote blue no matter who is kind of it's kind of the truth right now. It sucks to say because Democrats are liars and they're a party of empty promises and they're completely feckless, and there's very, very few leaders that actually make a genuine impact when it comes to passing legislation and policy. But there are some like that actually do it, and like those small victories, like hold on to them tightly because that counts for something. What can you say about the Republicans though? Nothing. The tax cuts for the rich, and we're not the woke left or whatever the fuck. So it doesn't matter if it's Trump or DeSantis that goes against Biden, if Biden does run for a second term, which I'm pretty sure he's going to. What matters is a bigger turnout than 2020, ensuring that the Republicans do not gain any more power, because there are a frighteningly high number of them that are hostile to just democracy in general. This is taboo at this point. It's a dead horse that a lot of people are beating, but like it wouldn't be such a prominent topic if it wasn't so real. That Supreme Court decision that they're going to be voting on soon. I forget what the name of it is. Yeah, here it is. Moore v. Harper. This case, if taken up, well, the Supreme Court's going to be looking at it next year, could very well end our democracy, meaning the states, if it's turned over to the states, get to choose essentially who the next president is. They can essentially throw out the votes. Because if states dictate and determine how they count votes or how they determine their elections, how they pick their electors and all that, I would just look into the case itself. This could mean that your vote essentially doesn't matter. It could permanently cripple democracy in the United States. And don't get me wrong, democracy in the United States right now isn't perfect. But the fact alone that you are able to vote at the federal, state, and local level really counts for something in the grand scheme of things, especially given that a lot of countries in the world don't even have that opportunity. And I'm going to be harping on this in the future as well, because there are a lot of people out there that want you to think that your vote doesn't matter, so why do it? And sure, it's the least effective form of civil engagement. The way to incorporate real change is to change minds, change thoughts, reshape the way that society looks at the world. And that is kind of changing a little bit. I mean, the fact that a lot of people are waking up to the Republican Party as a rogue entity that doesn't give a flying fuck about you, only their own power, as demonstrated by Republicans themselves time and time again, that does count for something. So even though the Democrats aren't perfect, like, what, is the Green Party going to take power next? I know this video isn't so much about Trump as it is like just the future of American democracy as a whole, but all of this is because of Trump. 2016 was indeed the most important election of our lifetimes. Hence my little hat here. Sure, Bernie didn't win the primary, even though he should have, but Trump shouldn't have won the presidency. Because now we're dealing with an extremist Supreme Court that can literally end democracy next year. And not enough people are talking about this. The midterms did provide a glimmer of hope because the Democrats performed way better than expected, but that momentum is going to be very much necessary, like in the future. period, regardless of who ends up facing against the Democratic nominee for 2024. In the meantime, I am very much looking forward to seeing the future of Republican infighting, and happily sitting back and eating popcorn as I just watched the mud get flung everywhere, the other shit show, as it were. But this is just another reminder just to get involved, locally or what have you. Abolish the GOP, obliterate the Republican Party, render them obsolete. That's all this comes down to. Period. Thank you guys for checking this out. I know it's been a minute and I don't really post that often. It's mostly because I've mentioned before, I work 2 jobs and I'm just so jaded. Like, of course I could have devoted time, the past couple months to make several more videos, but I sound like a broken record. It's just tedious and I'm tired and blah 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 blah. Politics doesn't grasp me like it used to. I mean, not much really does anymore these days. Anyway, hit the like button if you could, please. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell for notifications. Follow me on the dumpster fire that is Twitter. I haven't even talked about Twitter. My God, I can't wait for another website to come up that we can just all migrate to from Twitter. Likely not going to happen though. Hopefully I'll see you all sooner than later. Take care of yourselves.